What's up, my crew members? My name is Andrew from the Superherocrew, and welcome to episode 15 of Comic Talk. This is the show where I talk about the comics that I decided to get this week, and today we're talking about The Brave and the Bold, Batman and Wonder Woman number 2, JLA number 27, Spider-Gwen number 30, Wonder Woman 43, Batman 43, and Doomsday Clock number 4. So let's talk. So some of these comics came out last week and some came out this week. I was at Adepticon. You can check all that out on Family Gamer 777. I was at Adepticon. That's why there was also no videos last week and also no X Corner because Rob was also at Adepticon. So that was last week, but this week we are back and we're going to be bringing you guys a lot more comic book related videos. So first thing I'm going to talk about is JLA number 27. I saw when in the last issue, I saw Kronos. I was like, wow, like the last time I saw Kronos was in the Batmite miniseries with Booster Gold. That was the last time I saw him, and now he's back, and he's basically wants to kill Ray Palmer, and he's in his classic suit, and he goes in the microverse, and he starts fighting Ray Palmer, and then they beat the crap out of Kronos, and he spits in Ray Palmer's face and is like, I'm gonna go steal something or someone. Then we see, now the art's a little weird in here. Batman looks a little wonky in this. I don't know, there's a couple of panels where he looks really wonky. But so what happens is they go to this dig site because they're trying to rebuild Happy Harbor, and they go beneath the sanctuary and they find saturated, or they find 4D energy that is in this like whole area thing, and they get an alert, and basically Kronos attacks him with these Techno Chiefs, which are, I believe they are some of Darkseid's minions, but it's weird because now Kronos has this terrible, terrible outfit. Like, just put him in his original outfit. He looks really bad. Here, this is what he looks like. Really, I don't like the way that he looks there. And basically, the JLA and Kronos fight, but then they eventually are able to get the upper hand with Kronos, but then Kronos starts to run away, and he essentially, Ryan the Atom, starts to chase after Kronos, but he isn't able to, and Kronos goes through a portal, and the Atom's like, I gotta do this on my own. He is Ray Palmer's, villain. I'm gonna go and fight him, and Batman's like, no, we're going as a team. Then they go through the portal into this, the time primordial, and I believe they're in, like, the far, far future, and Kronos has captured a god, and that's how this ends. That was JLA 27. I like this issue. This was fun. It was cool to see Kronos back. Because, in the Batmite miniseries, they kind of made fun of him, and he's like a kind of a wonky villain, but I don't like his new suit. I don't know why they couldn't just have put, or let him keep his old suit. I don't know why they gave him a new suit, but, yeah, that was JLA 27. The art was a little weird, too. Batman looked really weird in a couple panels, and it was really weird, but yeah, I cannot wait to see where this goes and what Kronos is going to do. I like how they're kind of doing these, like, random couple-issue arcs, like how they're doing in the Batman by Tom King, that series, where it's like, okay, you have a couple issues, then a one-shot, then another couple issues, and that's a separate arc, and then a 1 or 2 issue arc, and I hope this doesn't go over 3 issues of an arc. I don't want it to be that long because Kronos, it's Kronos, like, he's a wonky villain, so, but yeah, that was JLA 27, so, for JLA 27, I would have to give it an 8 out of 10. Alright, Spider-Gwen number 30. loving Spider-Gwen. This series is pretty good. Now, I did complain about how in JLA the Microverse event was so long and dragged out, but that was because they had, like, a couple, like, issues of just a flashback, and it was like, it could have been half of an issue, or they could have just explained it. They didn't have to use a whole issue to really show it, and it's, that was just really long and dragged out. This is long and dragged out, but I'm interested and I actually like Spider-Gwen as a character. But basically, Spider-Gwen is in some universe. We don't know, and we find out later what universe she's in. And Gwen Stacy of this universe is talking to her, and they're talking, and they're basically saying, like, okay, well, you know, I'm here, this and that, and everything seems normal. Like, she goes to the Baxter building, and Mr. Fantastic is there, and, you know, like, Spider-Man is here, and Peter Parker's here, and everything seems normal. And we see a newspaper that says Spider-Man still sought in death of Captain Stacy. So this is after the death of Captain Stacy and before the death of Gwen, and we see that it's cool because, like, usually when Spider-Gwen goes into another universe in her story, they have a thing that says, you know, Earth whatever. In this, it says ding. It's like going crazy. It's like recalculating, and it's like ding ding Earth 616. So she's in Earth 616, but in the past for us, because obviously Gwen is dead in Earth 616. So it's kind of weird. And then, you know, they talk. They have a conversation, and they're like, well, we should bring Peter into this, and she's like, no, once there's a Peter Parker involved, it's all about him, so we can't do this, we can't have him be a part of this. Then Gwen Stacy of this universe explains to her some kind of theory, and about, like, if there's two cats in a box, and, like, if then there's an atom, and they rely on the atom to live, but then the two cats are both alive and dead, or something like that, or like there's one cat or something. It's weird. But then we find out that they're actually in Earth 617, not 616, 617. So everything seems the same until it's like, all right, it's Earth 617. What's different about this universe? There's got to be something that is slightly different about this universe. And throughout the book, the two Watchers are trying to figure out what's going on. They're like, oh my god, Gwen Stacy's off the space-time continuum. Someone put her into another universe, which obviously was Matt Murdock in the last issue because he opened up, like, this space portal thingy. And what happens is we see Spider-Boy and Spider-Girl from the future, the sons of Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy, from the future of Earth 68, which is the Spider-Gwen universe. And the Watcher's basically like, you know, we know it was you did something, and then Gwen Stacy from that future jumps through and says, you know, I'm here now, and then the Watchers are like, oh, you're behind this? And she goes, no, not me, but we. And you see, like, you know, the Venom symbiote, you know, on her face. And then the issue ends. So, a lot of things are going on in this. Now, is Spider-Gwen stuck in Earth 617? What's going on? So, now, Spider-Gwen is going to have the symbiote from now on. Is that going to be the thing? Hopefully she gets rid of it. I doubt they're going to keep it on for the whole series. And what's going to happen now? And I don't know. But this is getting very interesting. So, and also the art was good. So, for Spider-Gwen, number 30, I would have to give this an 8.5 out of 10. Alright, Wonder Woman number 43, Amazon's Attack Part 3, and we see now that Wonder Woman is actually trying to get information out of the female Furies, and we also see that Jason, her brother, is getting trained by Argus to try and, you know, figure out his powers, and we see that Steve Trevor also does not trust Jason, Wonder Woman's brother, and Wonder Woman lets the female Furies go and says, okay, well, if I kick it, if you're not going to give me any information, I'm just going to beat you up and try to beat the information out of you. Then we see Darkseid and Grailer powering up their portal, and he fires it up, and it hits Argus's building, and like takes the building to the Amazon jungle where Darkseid is. Like, they go through the portal, and like and everybody goes through, and Darkseid's like, "Yo, what up, Wonder Woman? Like, let's fight." And she's like, "All right, let's fight." And then the issue ends, and that was the issue. But it was pretty intense, and like, what's gonna happen now? Like, is Wonder Woman gonna call the Justice League? Will she call the Justice League? This is Darkseid we're talking about. Will she call the Justice League? Probably not. I doubt it. But I'm actually glad that we're gonna see what's going on with Darkseid, because in one of the last arcs, the whole situation about baby Darkseid and introducing Jason as a character, I was like, okay, now what's gonna happen? Are they gonna do some kind of event with Darkseid? No, they're actually not, which is good, and they're just continuing it in the Wonder Woman book, which I'm happy about, because I like Darkseid. Darkseid's a cool villain, or at least now he's cool. You know, when he was first introduced, he was kind of lame and stupid. But, yeah, that's pretty much it for Wonder Woman 43. It didn't seem like a lot happened, but for Wonder Woman 43, I think I would have to give it an 8 out of 10.
Let's talk Brave and the Bold, number 2. So, we're just continuing on with the storyline. Wonder Woman goes to this ethereal place. It seems like it's set in Irish mythology.
Turnanog, I think it's called. Some weird.
Yeah, It's all, I guess it's Gaelic, because it's the old Irish lore. And what's happening is she's there, and she's like a warrior. She's going to be the one that intermediates between the peace. And she says, you know what, I need somebody. It's a knight. And who else but the Dark Knight. So he didn't come in yet, but it's the last as a splash page. And here comes Bruce. He's coming in, and he's going to try to help out. So that's it. The story, this was kind of the transition story, getting us set up. Like, all right, so now Batman's in, and there's some kind of magic. There was a druid. Everything is up in the air. It doesn't make sense at this point right now.
I mean, it's going to be a 6-issue miniseries. So, you know, the first 2 issues are just setting it up, and then...
Well, the first one, it was pretty straightforward. This one is like, well, we're bringing Batman in. The magic is messing with the Irish people in the Irish Quarter, and you know, it's crazy. But you know, I guess it ties it in later on. But right now, so now we know that Batman is there, and then the druid showed up there, who's been trying to get there for years, but you know, just showed up now.
Yeah. So. And I also like how Batman, he was, you know, in that trance. You know, with like all those like weird like things around him,
and he's so analytical, and they were like, "Well, what was the chemical thing?" He says, "No, this is magic. I know it's magic."
And then like I like how Alfred helps him, you know, like get out of the range of the thingy, and then he's like, "You know, Alfred, I never get to say this, but thank you."
Yeah.
You know, and then that was, you know, cool little moment there.
The artwork is fantastic.
Oh my God, this art is so good.
It's very Dungeons and Dragons fantasy type. It's really spectacular. It really is beautiful artwork.
Yeah, this is some beautiful stuff in here. It is really,
and it captures
really
the lore.
Nice.
It's really a fantasy type book that happens to have the modern day superheroes in it. So
yeah.
I like the hell out of this book.
So yeah, this is definitely pretty good. And I see a lot of people saying like, oh, this isn't Brave and the Bold. This isn't like the cartoon. It's not supposed to be like the cartoon. Brave and the Bold was just a team up book like Marvel 2-in-1 and stuff like that.
It's just basically two guys, you know, two stars. And then what was great about Brave and the Bold back in the day was, let's say it was Batman and
like Green Arrow.
Yeah, or no, not even like Batman and Excalibur.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they would get together, or Batman and the Creeper. You know, I know you're a big fan of Creeper, but there's not much out there with Creeper. So you put him with Batman, you're like, well, I love Batman, I'll read that, and I'll read the Creeper. I don't know why it's Brave and the Bold, but I'm digging it. It could have
just been called Batman and Wonder Woman, because the subtitle is Batman and Wonder Woman. It could have just been called that, but
don't let it fool you. It's good.
It's very good. So, what would you give Brave and the Bold number 2?
I gotta go to 9, man.
I agree. 9 out of 10. This is a fantastic book.
9.5, just because of the artwork is so good.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna stick with just a 9, but this is really good. It's really This is like one of the best books that are coming out. It's like Mr. Miracle, Doomsday Clock, and now Brave and the Bold for me. Honestly,
really
this is a fantastic book.
Must buy.
If you haven't picked up the anything from this series, you have to go back and pick up the first and second issue.
You're only
These are
two behind.
great. You're only two behind, and you could catch up. This is great. This is really, really good. So, let's move on to Batman 43.
Batman 43. This ends the Ivy saga.
Yes.
And it's pretty good because in the last issue, Superman, controlled by Ivy, had Batman hanging upside down, and Superman punched them all and like tore them apart. So we don't know if he can see out of if he's blind in one eye. Probably not, but you know he's not in good shape. And it just goes on where for whatever reason Selina Kyle is there, knocks her out for a few seconds, and the big hero of this issue is Harley Quinn, and she kind of gets to talk with her and talks about how crazy she was. She knows about the what happened with the jokes and riddles. And she says, you know, let me try to help you heal. And it was weird that Harley was not crazy. She was actually Dr. Quinn at that point, and or Quinzel, and she was helping Ivy out. So then it ends here, and well, let's talk about that, and then talk about what comes next. So, what'd you think?
It's pretty. I like this this story arc. It's interesting. It's a nice 3-issue arc to try to just push and go to the next thing that's happening, which we'll talk about in a second. But this is pretty good. I'm liking Tom King's run on Batman, and they got some interesting things in here.
It's weird, but like weird in a good way.
Yeah,
it's like funky in a good way.
Yeah,
like it really was like when the arc started. Halfway through the book, you had no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
and then you kind of figure it out later on.
Yeah, and with Tom King, I don't know how I feel about Batman, about his Batman, how he writes Batman, because I don't know. Him writing Batman is good, but him writing Batman as a character, once in a while it could be a little wonky. Like one or two things Batman says is a little weird.
He makes him very human.
Yeah,
it's like he's not this. He has times where it's not the analytical this and that. And Tom King, like Batman's a little more emotional. He's like so it's different. It's good though. I like it a lot.
Yes, I do like this. This is pretty good. So, what would you give Batman 43?
8.5.
8.5? I wouldn't go 8.5. I would say 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I
just like the artwork fit.
Yeah, the artwork is pretty good in this. But let us really quick just talk about what's happening next. Batman 44 is the marriage of Batman and Catwoman, and that comes out this week, this Wednesday, and we will have some cool and awesome coverage talking about that.
We'll get it early. We're going to get the video up quick.
Yes, we will get that video up quick.
I think this is Coach's, like, you got to buy more than one. Like when I was collecting, he's taken over the collection. But when I was collecting, if a big book came out, something that's going to be, this has never happened before. I don't know if Batman's ever been married.
That's the thing. I think that's why this is kind of a big deal, because I don't think Batman has been married to Catwoman
or just in general. But I'm thinking you got to get at least 3 of them. Put them away. Read one. Put the other 2 in the book. Put the piece of tape on it. Put the card sock in it. Nice Mylar bag. Put it away. Don't talk about it, and then your kids can talk about it. My grandkids will be able to read it. That's what I did. I did that with a bunch of books, and I got some books that are really worth a lot. But you always buy more than one. One you got to read. If you're a fan, you have to read it. The other 4 are for your collection for later on.
Yeah. Definitely. So we will definitely, because that's the only thing that's coming out for us, this week. There's nothing else that's coming out besides Batman 44, so we will talk about that in great detail, because that is a big deal, I think, because...
And it's huge.
Yeah, it's got to be huge. Now let's go...
Doomsday Clock.
Yes.
Okay, so it's finally out, the new one, and if you can see the pancakes from the last issue, has the Rorschach in it. So it was great. What happened was...
Actually, what's funny? I did not notice that.
There you go. That's why I'm here. So you get to find out who the new Rorschach is and how he became Rorschach. So we find out that from the original Watchmen, if you recall, the psychiatrist who was analyzing Walter Kovacs when he was in jail, because he wasn't Rorschach at the time, that's the new Rorschach's son. And, that was his father who was breaking it down. So Rorschach, the psychiatrist's son, taking on the guise of Rorschach, he was there in New York City when Vedit blew up the
Veidt, I think it's pronounced.
Veidt?
Adrian Veidt.
Yeah, or Ozzy blew up the the Manhattan Massacre and killed 3 million people with the nuclear device, and it looked like Dr. Manhattan did it. So now he was there, and he drove him crazy, killed the mother and the father, put him into an insane asylum. But it was weird because it was going back and forth from Arkham to an insane asylum.
Yeah, and at one, I had to like look back because it was hard to tell. It was like, wait, why is Mothman here? Oh, we know that's in the Watchmen universe. This is wait a second. Now I'm confused. You know, like it was a little confusing.
The best,
honestly.
but the awesome thing was that him and Mothman became friends.
Yeah.
And Mothman kept getting, he was getting like bed sheets, and every now and then would go to the roof and fly off, and he would go get some stuff and then bring it back, and they kept bringing him back. But it was like, eventually at the end of not the very end, but almost at the end, they escape. And Mothman sees the fire, and he goes into the fire like a moth into the flame.
Now that's Mothman from the original team, right?
I think so. That was one of those black and white pictures.
Yeah.
With the original Silk Spectre, and so he actually goes into the flame, basically, committing suicide. But he gives him a gift, shows him where Ozzy is up in Antarctica, and he gives him his mask back. Goes there, finds him, he's going to kill him because change of heart, and so let's go try to fix the world. And that's where we're at now. So it seems like they're tying up all the loose ends from the Watchmen movie.
Yeah.
Well, not the loose ends, but expanding on what happened in the Watchmen movie. This was just specifically a brand new Rorschach, non-Kovacs issue, telling us a little bit about him. So we kind of know, like, because we kept saying, who the hell is this guy? Why is he Rorschach? Why is he black as opposed to white from, the original Walter Kovacs? How did that happen? Or, we knew that he wasn't him. We were thinking maybe a clone, maybe something, maybe Dr. Manhattan had something to do with it. Who knows? But now we just find out that he just took the guise of it because he respected his father and, took it that way.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is probably, like, the worst out of the 4 issues. Mm-hmm. It's good. It definitely is a pretty good issue. It's just not as good as the other issues. Plus, now, Doomsday Clock is going to come out once every 2 months.
Yeah.
This was not worth waiting that extra month.
Well,
it definitely was not.
It was good to know who he was, but I don't. But I think you didn't need a whole issue. But you know what? If you read the original Watchmen, and I read it in one shot, so the book was about this thick. And, like even in the movie, Rorschach's journal, this and that. And he goes back and explains he was too nice to criminals. Then he found that child molester and the child killer, and he ends up killing him. That's where Walter Kovacs died in Rorschach. It was explaining stuff. I think that's what they did. It's almost like an homage to that. Like, let's take an old issue and talk about Rorschach.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing here. But it's... I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to say it was bad. I enjoyed the issue, but I want to see what happens. Like, how they tie this in. All right, now you guys did this. What are we going to do?
Yeah, no, it definitely was a good issue. I was just like, wait. I was reading. I'm like, all right, we're finding out the origin. Okay. Turn the page. Okay, wait. All right, we're still finding out the origin. Okay, we're still like trying to figure out. Okay, when do we get? I want to know what's going on with the DC universe right now. It is 12 issues. Yes. They're setting things up, but it's coming out once every 2 months. You know what I mean?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know why, but I guess
the first 3 issues came out fine, and then all of a sudden this one just comes out. Now this one comes out 2 months after the third one.
Definitely coming out every 2 months.
Is that yes? Because the next one is coming out not this month. It's coming out in May.
Okay. Well, we'll wait. But so, what do you think?
Well, it was a good issue. It was a good issue. It's just it was not worth that wait. At all. It definitely was not. I was kind of disappointed with this issue, but it was still good. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still good. 8 out of 10.
Okay, I was gonna say 8 out of 10. It was. I liked it, enjoyed it, but you guys are on warning. Let's pick it up in the next one.
Yeah. So, anything else to add before we head out? So, if you liked the video, please like. You got any questions? Please comment down below and. What's up? Just
if you can, spread it around. We're trying to get this channel going, and we got some some things in the works coming. We have some crossovers with our other channel, Family Gamer 777. So we're going to start working on that. And we'd like you guys to be part of it. Some of you guys, we got some loyal fans out there, but we'd like to expand a little bit more. Just talking about what comic books we like. If there's any other comic book you think we should cover, just let us know, because we're just basically covering the stuff we like to read.
Yeah. So, and also, if you're new here, subscribe for more comic book videos, and see you in the next one.